she's actually got better damage resistance. Ranging shot means that we can't be in half cover, but that's fine, we're in full cover. Ooh, you shot my spearman. That's not very nice. Yeah, that was ambitious. Ambitious is the word. You're going to move forwards? Excellent. You're going for those two, okay. And that's the healer trying to go around the back. Right, hopefully Mordred can take this guy down. Don't hit the shield. Good boy. You are now flanked. Twice. Unfortunately, she hits like a wet squid, which is annoying. He hits rather harder. We could even try to stun him. Do that. Nice. So he's not going to be moving next turn. Now you have your knife. Huzzah! Which we can use to hopefully backstab you. Does stun count as immobilize? Yes, it does. Boom! Backstab! This guy is not going to be standing for long. This fight's going rather differently than the previous. Osnir coming in with a whopping 56-month resubscription. Thank you very much for the ongoing support there, Posnick. Really do appreciate that. Thank you. And we'll need to drop a heal on our spearwoman, but that can be done. And he goes down. Right, let's have you lot just rushing forwards to lock them up into combat as quickly as we can. You come over here and drop a heal on her.
Shit! Let me take a look. Thank you.
Now she's back fighting fit. Who do I send you after? I think probably you. Let's send you this way, actually. Ah, we can lock you down. That's good. Rush forwards, break ranks. We've done what we came here to do. You can switch back to the bow. Okay, so their leader's just continuing to shout at us rather than shoot us. You're taking an extremely long-range shot. So are you. Such range, they should never hit me. That one's probably the most dangerous. A sword or an axe? That is an axe. We really need to find you a better weapon. And then we put you here, and then we use your extend ability, which lets you hit 3 tiles. Love that spearman. She is very, very good. Right. So that archer is as good as dead. You are locked down. You're still free for the moment. And I'm hoping that my archer can win a duel against their healer. Especially because my own archer is going to be supported by my healer. That's in cover. That's in cover. That's also in cover. Really? Well, you stay in cover for now. And then you come forwards to here. And then do an interrupt. Postpone a ranged attack until you have at least 75% chance to hit an enemy during an enemy turn, or if they close within 6 hexes. Oh, you're using a Dane axe. Interesting. Interesting. That was another very ambitious shot. You've switched to sword and board. Which is a choice. Blocked. You go ahead and blow some dust in his face. So he loses finesse and perception. And then I guess you... ...13 armor against 42. Wow, Blocky is actually really, really heavily armored. Might want to send Mordred after you. Okay, what we're going to do here is we're going to do a tactical move to get you away to here. Which means he can move without taking attacks of opportunity. Then Mordred is going to run up to here and tie him up in combat. So you two are now locked together. And then Asleifer is going to be responsible for going after these guys. You knock her out. Wait until reinforcements arrive. And then you've still got an attack. Wait, was the dust a free attack? Oh, it was. Interesting. In that case, you may as well just hit him. Wow, you hit? That must have been like a 5% chance to hit that range. And then... where'd he go? There. You tactical retreated. How is he still in cover? He's not. 95% chance. Here we go. You resisted, but you are now harried, which means that you can come in and hit him hard. And then you can come in and hit them even harder. Because that's what you do. Stab. And then you... come forwards to about here. Shoot. 0%. So you come here and just stay in cover. And then we'll have you moving forwards a tiny bit to take out the healer before she heals somebody. Nice. You can come down here and assist our axewoman. You go and stun her again. Just to keep her out of the fight. You do so little damage, but you are pretty good in utility role. And right now, the main objective I have is to not lose anybody. And that is where Asleifer comes in. Time to do some damage. Let's drop a Tear's Favour just to buff everybody's defensiveness while we are spread out and running. Because I think we're about to take a Great Axe hit. You hit again! What is your attack ability? Because that's crazy. Hello. However, I have now caught you. You need to move to here, then do another extend attack. Stab, stab.
You messed with the wrong woman.
70 damage. Very nice. You come over here just to put him in, or her into a flanking position. And then Usleifer, you come over and finish her. Nice. And there it is, victory. Nobody got knocked out. Very important. Good. And here we are, camping. So how do we treat injuries? Ah, heal. Severe injuries get slightly higher penalty with no reduction to cost. Deterioration risk is increased by 15. You've got a critical laceration. Let's drop a heal on you. And drop a heal on you. Now, do you need to rest twice? I don't remember. No. Good. Let's get rid of the critical injuries. So we are going to be using up a whole bunch of our medicine. So we would quite like to have medicine converted into something more useful. We have rations, but we have no meat. So Ketil, I'm guessing you need to be in town healing. Oh, you can't do that if you're injured. Huh. Well, Adis can do cooking to get that bonus. And then guard. Wow, that head injury is going to be very, very, very expensive to treat. The arm injury is nowhere near as much. Critical injuries see a significant penalty increase as well as cost and deterioration risk increased by 30. Yeah, okay. So we definitely need to be treating that arm, because that arm is really quite a bad injury. And I'm somewhat tempted to have you try to heal somebody a little bit as well. Oh, Roskva's wounded, critically. And she can't heal herself. Oh! Huh. We might actually want to make our way back to town. Well, we've cleared this camp now. I don't know that we necessarily want to rest here right now. Because I have a feeling that injuries get worse when you rest there. Oh man, it is a long way back home though. We'd basically have to go all the way back to Scarin to see the witch and then go back to the marsh. And this is as good a campsite as we're going to find, I think. Oh no, that one's better. That one's still guarded. I wish there was a different icon if it was guarded. Like, if it's guarded, it's red. If it's not guarded, it's green. And we are on a time limit. We're currently there. We have to have got the ship and everything ready by then. Otherwise, you just lose. Ah! Ha 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 ha! And I definitely feel like we want to be properly rested before going to the marsh. We haven't had any quests about going to any other towns or anything like that, so it kind of looks like it's just going to be River. So, I'm going to drop a save here. 27. Going to take a risk. We're going to go back to Scarin. Oh, the Zeds are when we would need to rest. So what you're saying is we should go here, rest there, because this has really good stats. Seems like Hedeby is not there, but the entire south part of Denmark seems to not be filled. Yeah. And then this is where we're going to need to rest. Or, what happens if we're fatigued? We lose stats, but we shouldn't be in a position to be fighting anyone. I don't think we'll be exhausted, we'll only be fatigued. The last one to get tired is Mordred, of course. Do it. I think this was a better decision. And then we'll go and see the healer, and hopefully she can do it all without me spending medicine and time. And this also rather suggests that I need to have 2 people training as medics, not just Roskva. Oh, and while we're here, we can also see to the shipbuilding. We still need to choose a name for the ship. Some of my herdmen have been injured. Will you treat them? Oh, the poor dears. Of course I'll help. Here, let me see. An hour or so later, as opposed to an entire camp later. There you go. Just let that sit. Time and sleep will take care of the rest. Thank you. Thank you. Useful resource to have. Right, where's the shipbuilder? I think he's over here somewhere. Nope. There he is. Can't the priest in Reba help you? Maybe. Forgot about her. You know what? Because time is limited in this game, that is a very good point. Was it this one? We'll just go back to Reba and get that healed. Yeah, so this is before we left to go to that camp. So if we just go back to Reba. The faint, sickly sweet stench of carrion hangs in the wind. Ahead you see the dark form of crows flapping eagerly against the pale sky. As you approach, you find signs of battle in blood-soaked soil. Several bodies litter the area, and dark birds have begun to feast. Oh, we're investigating. You decide to search the area. With raised voices and flailing arms, you chase away the crows who take wing with raucous protest. Then you set about your grim task. Though you search for a while, you find little to implicate who these warriors once were. You do, however, think you may be able to salvage some of their arms and armour, lest the elements claim a good steel and a sturdy hide. Rosfa dusts off her hands and looks at you, brow furrowed. If you were thinking to take from the dead, you would do well to remember the whites. All that we see here belongs to them. Take if you wish, but do not steal. We'll scavenge, but we'll leave an offering. I think that's fair. You uncover an intact piece of equipment, worn but serviceable as payment to the spirits of the dead. You leave an offering of silver behind. So what did I actually get there? Can't check while I'm in this. Start, so let's have you lot selected. Oh, it is dark. Here we come. Alright, Savannah. Ah, see, she doesn't. So she doesn't heal. That's Reba. That's Garen. Well, now we know. It was a good idea. It was a very good idea. So we'll heal, we'll go talk to the boat builder, then we'll head to the marsh. How's the construction of our stuff going? 1 day remaining. And unfortunately, I don't think it's going to be possible for us to rest here. Which is very unfortunate considering, you know, this is our home. I feel like if you were able to rest anywhere, it would be here. Maybe you can if you go to the Longhouse? Because it seems kind of weird that we would need to go out, only to come then back in again. Oh, right, we also need to talk to the boat builder before we leave. Must remember to do that. Doesn't look like you can rest in your own house. Damn it! That feels like an oversight. Alright, let's have a word with Thorfinn. Oh there! I sent Sonny and Meganbjorn out to the forest to harvest the timber you chose for the ship. All that's left is to name it. Ah, we actually get to choose. Right, so what we're going to call our ship. Ideas, chat, please. Give me some ideas. Titanic. Mordhammer. Valhalla. Swift Wind's quite nice.